All right, real quick, story time. So last week I did a video about protecting your boundaries. There's a lot of boob. Protecting your boundaries, your peace. I used to be a huge pushover, let people walk all over me, used friends, relationships, all that shit. I'm not like that no more. That's why I'm so militant now. Anyway, here's a story about how I let a bitch play me out of my own position and got me to buy her lunch. Hilarious. So this was like 2008, 2009, October. It was right before Halloween. Halloween is one of my favorite holidays, by the way. This is the Halloween where I was Pee Wee Herman. Best costume to date, period. I'll insert a picture now. Pretty funny, huh? Anyway, so I had the bike too and everything. So anyway, my roommate and I'm originally from LA. This is when I was actively working in Hollywood as a script writer and editor as well, a film editor. Actually, the most money I ever made in film and TV was editing, ironically. So my roommate and I had been living in Los Feliz, and we had just moved into this like quiplex. We had so many memories of this apartment in Echo Park. Huge apartment. We had a backyard. We had a trampoline. It was the shit. Anyway, so we hadn't quite moved in yet. We had been like cherry picking, like slowly moving like all the little shit in first. And I think the following week we were moving all the big stuff. But so this girl that I'm referring to, she wasn't like a friend. She was more of an acquaintance. I ran with like a group of people that were all in film and television creatives. Everybody I know now has gone on to do great things. This girl I'm talking about was a costume designer and stylist, and she was great. I mean, I can't take away her talent. Fantastic. I believe she works on TV now. I mean, she did the shit for one of my favorite shows. I don't want to say it because then y'all know who I'm talking about. But anyway, so long story short, this girl was dating a mutual friend of ours. I didn't know her that well. I'd met her a few times at parties, cool as hell, blah, blah, blah. She calls me up one day, it was like a Friday, and wanted to know what I was doing. And I said, I'm actually going to my new apartment. You want to come with me? So I went and picked her up. We were hanging out. We were talking about Halloween because I was telling her how I was going to be Pee Wee Herman. And this was the year that Kanye West did his like version of Pee Wee Herman. So it was weird. It's funny because I used to really hate Kanye. I love Kanye, but I hate Kanye. Love his music. We ain't talking about Kanye West. But anyway, so I pick her up. I bring her to my new apartment. We're talking about it. Love it. At the time, I was starting to get sick. I think I was getting the flu, and I felt it coming on. These are my big party days. So she was like, well, we're all going to the club tonight. Why don't you just like go and like sweat it out? We used to go to this club. There used to be an ex-cop bar in Echo Park called the Shortstop. Shout out to the Shortstop. That was my shit. I missed that place. Oh, those were the times. Now I'm 43 and I go home to my 2 cats. Anyway, so she's telling me all the stuff that she's working on, and we're hanging out in my empty apartment, and she's like, so are you going to take anything for your because you're clearly getting sick? I was like, I got to get soup or something. She goes, well, I know a really great, there's like this tea house, this restaurant, and they have good soup and stuff, and we should go there. And I'm like, okay, bet. So we go to this spot, really cute, very me, very vintage, old school. It's a tea house. They had good, cute music, very hipster. If you know Echo Park hipster movement, look that shit up. But I definitely am a former hipster. So anyway, so we get to this restaurant, place is bomb. She's helping me figure out my costume. She's telling me about all her projects. She's ordering food. I think I ended up ordering some type. I asked the waitress, like, I'm coming down with something, blah, blah, blah. She was like, we have this great soup and tea, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, it's time to leave. The bill comes. This motherfucker looks at me and goes, well, I didn't bring any money. Oh, okay. The bill was like $40-something. The place wasn't cheap. And of course she ordered more than what I ordered. So I'm sitting there and she's just looking at me. Like, she's looking at me expecting me to pay this bill. And I'm thinking in my head, like, so you knew when I picked you up that you didn't have no money. And then we get to my new apartment where you suggested a restaurant to go to knowing you didn't have no money. But see, here's the thing. This girl had peeped me early on that I was a sucker. I was a sucker. I used to get walked over a lot and used a lot. A lot. Oh, if I could go back in time. Don't let me get a fucking flux capacitor, however you say it. So I pay the bill, right? And in my head, I'm feeling so played. I'm like, now I gotta drive this asshole home. And she's just like, she doesn't say thank you or anything. It was expected. This girl would go on 2 more times to fuck me over. And I should say, this girl will go on 2 more times where I allowed her to fuck me over. Another time she used me for my editing skills, didn't pay me, and then ended up crashing at my house because she didn't want to drive home. Like, I'm amazed at how much I used to let people just fucking walk all over me. But what's hilarious about that story is the Asia now, we would have just been staring at her while I paid for my part of the bill. Today, I would have left her ass at that restaurant. Don't fucking play with me. You thought you could go out with... You invited me to this bitch knowing you didn't have no money. And I only got 2 minutes to go clock in, but I should tell y'all the story about my homegirl back in high school who played me when the movie The Mummy came out and got me to pay for her food and her movie ticket. Oh, I used to be a sucker. My goodness. Happy Wednesday.